whipping it, whipping it, whipping it, whipping it, whipping it, whipping it, whipping it. Yo, what's good with y'all boys? And today we better be ranking the Star Wars shows. And yeah, I really like all the Star Wars shows, so like just take that in consideration. Even like the one in last place, I even like. And also, we're talking about like the main ones in canon. So I haven't watched like Young Jedi Adventures or Visions. I still haven't watched Visions yet. Coming in at 8th place, we got The Book of Boba Fett. Like I said, I did enjoy a lot about this show, but there was so much about this show that it just irritated me. It was such a wasted potential. You have Boba Fett, who is the leader of the whole criminal underworld, and what do? They turn him into a good guy. Like, I like a lot of the things that they were doing with Fennec Shand and stuff, how he saved Fennec Shand and all that shit, and I like how he took over Jabba's palace. I thought, whenever I first started watching it, I was like, bro, this is perfect. This is what Boba Fett, this is of course what he would do. And then as the show went on, it was like Venom. They did the Venom treatment to him. They just made him the anti-hero, basically. Like, that's the way I saw it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wish they would have just made Boba Fett a bad guy, and he would have just been selling spice and killing motherfuckers the whole time. The episode with The Mandalorian is like the best episode, and that's the episode everyone talks about where he fights Paz Vizsla, and then because Paz Vizsla challenged him for the Darksaber. But yeah, that's just like a really good episode. But yeah, it is kind of disappointing how The Mandalorian was in the Book of Boba Fett, but then Boba Fett couldn't even be in Mandalorian, so other than like a few scenes or whatever. Coming in at number 7, we got Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yet another very disappointing show. This was one of the shows that for the longest time I was so hyped about. I was so ready for. The best parts about this show, of course, was, seeing Obi-Wan Kenobi in the flashbacks with Anakin, and then the fight with Anakin, or Darth Vader at the end, and then he, saw Anakin like happened in Rebels with Ahsoka. There's some good moments in here, really great moments, and but it's really, really high highs and really low lows. So that's all I got to say about Kenobi. Coming in at number 6, we got Andor. Andor is a very underrated show. Andor is just like a spy thriller Star Wars show. It's not even really like a Star Wars show all the way. It's kind of like a spy thriller in space. I mean, even the guns, even the blasters are more like guns than blasters. So, there's a whole lot of things in this show that irritates people, but I really liked Andor. This is where there's a pretty big gap between Kenobi and Andor. Andor is actually a really good show. This is where the shows are all really good. And there might have been like some bad episodes in them or whatever, or like maybe a bad season that people didn't like, but the shows overall at this point are good shows. But yeah, Andor, man, it was a unique show, something like we've never gotten in Star Wars. I enjoyed it. Coming in at number 5, we got The Mandalorian. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna be wondering why the fuck The Mandalorian is this low on the list. I really like The Mandalorian, so just take that in account, okay? I just don't like it as much as the animated Star Wars shows. The Mandalorian is a really good show. Everybody knows about The Mandalorian. But, like, here's the thing about Season 3. Nothing really happened during Season 3. And in Season 3, the biggest things that happened was, like, Bo-Katan getting the Darksaber. At the end, Moff Gideon coming back as a clone. Like, there was, like, not that many big stuff that happened in The Mandalorian Season 3, but Season 2 was probably my favorite. I think Season 2 is my favorite. I also really like Season 1. But yeah, Mandalorian, great show. I really love Grogu. I really hope we see Mandalorian and Grogu in the Rey movie. with the Rey Jedi Order. I really hope we get to see it. I heard that Dave Filoni was at least trying to put The Mandalorian, trying to put Din Djarin and Grogu in a movie. Coming in at number 4, we got Star Wars Rebels. The problem with Star Wars Rebels is it has what a lot of people don't like about the Clone Wars, but on an even bigger level, a lot of people don't like some of the episodes in the Clone Wars. They think that they're filler episodes and they just don't enjoy them. Well, in Star Wars Rebels, there's a lot more filler episodes. If you want to use filler, I can watch all the episodes of Star Wars Rebels. I can watch all the episodes in Star Wars The Clone Wars, and it's not a problem. The main thing about this is the general audience is going to say that there's going to be more filler episodes. Kanan Jarrus is just like, I swear, I love this character, and I was so sad to see him die in the last season. Like, seeing him in Bad Batch, everything he went through, honestly, he turned into one of my favorite Jedi watching that. And then you got, them bringing back Ahsoka, Sabine, you gotta love Sabine. Jeb is good. And then, of course, I'm pretty sure Ezra is coming back in Ahsoka. So, there's that. I'm ready for Ahsoka. But yeah, there's a lot of good episodes in this. This is where we got the origin of the Darksaber for the first time, like, on a show. It might have been in, like, a comic book or in a book, but, like, for the first time in actual, like, on a show or, like, on a movie, this is the first time we ever got the actual origin of the Darksaber. Like I said, I love how they brought Ahsoka back. I loved the moment whenever we got to see Ahsoka fight Vader, and then Vader's helmet got ripped off in the front, and you got to see his face. Such an emotional moment. Like I said, the death of Kanan Jarrus, one of the most emotional deaths in all of Star Wars. Right after Hera said that she loved him, I'm pretty sure that was the first time. Like, you just wanted them to get together so bad, and then he dies, and you're just like, it pisses you off so much. I can keep talking for hours about Rebels. I love Rebels. Coming in at number 3, we got Tales of the Jedi. This was a gift for me. I was the target audience for this show. It's not even really a show. It's little shorts, 15 minutes. It shows why Count Dooku was actually pushed to the dark side. And you got the whole investigation episode, which I loved, because like I said, in my Clone Wars ranking, whenever I was talking about the sabotage episode, I really love whenever we get to see Jedi actually investigate crimes or investigate what happens, because they're Jedi, bro. Like, they're smart as hell, and they're the top of the top. They're the best of the best. So the relationship between Mace Windu and Count Dooku, it was amazing stuff. You got the episode where Yaddle followed Count Dooku to the hangar, and Count Dooku ended up killing Yaddle right there. The episode where Anakin is training Ahsoka with the 501st Battalion, and she's in the middle of the circle and they keep stunning her. That's my favorite episode, because it shows like how whenever she was in the Jedi who knew too much, that arc, how she got away whenever all those clones, because you gotta think, the clones are the best of the best, bro. Like, in the whole galaxy, like, they're the best soldiers there is. That's how Ahsoka survived, bro. So yeah, Tales of the Jedi is really good. Coming in at number 2, we got the Bad Batch. And this was the other gift from Dave Filoni to me. Because, I swear, Dave Filoni, ever since I was a child, as you can tell, Clone Wars is number 1. But ever since I was a child, bro, Dave Filoni has always been giving me stuff that I'm the target audience for. He knows exactly what I need in Star Wars. But yeah, the Bad Batch, man, it's like, it's what I needed. It's what I needed. It feels just like the Clone Wars. It feels exactly like Dave Filoni. It feels And I love how we get a show based around clones during the era where they're trying to get rid of the clones. And that's what I like so much about season 2 is it focused so much on the whole clone conspiracy where they're trying to replace the clones with stormtroopers because they, like I said, Emperor Palpatine wants more numbers. And but like I said, clones are better. They're more skilled, and I'd rather have clones, as you can tell. But yeah, and why would you make clones and then just that's fucked up, bro. Emperor Palpatine, you're fucked up. You're a messed up individual, okay? But yeah, I almost dropped my notes. I always make me a cheat sheet or whatever you call it, a note list, so I can write down stuff. And man, Crosshairs, man. Like I want to know what's gonna happen with him next. That's all I've been waiting. Once Bad Batch ended, I was so heartbroken. Like Mandalorian was still going, but I was like, man, I've really just been here for the Bad Batch for real. Like some people don't like this show, and everyone really hates Omega. I mean, Omega doesn't bother me as much as other people. I really don't know what's up with Omega yet. Is Omega like? I don't. It's been established that she's not Force. That she doesn't have the Force, but also just yeah, I don't know what's up with Omega. She has some special thing going on. I think she might have like all the abilities of all the Bad Batch or whatever, cause she's the last one. That's what Omega means. You're the last one. But yeah, and we also might see Boba Fett in the next season, cause he's the first special clone. He's Alpha. So yeah, I don't know. We better see what's gonna happen in Bad Batch season 3. I'm ready, man. And then coming in at number 1, you got the Clone Wars. I just made my Clone Wars ranking video. Star Wars: The Clone Wars is life. So many. That's the thing that I've rewatched the most, bro. Ever since I was like 7 or 8 years old, I've been watching Star Wars: The Clone Wars because the movie came out, and everybody hates the movie. I don't give a crap what anybody says. I love the movie. I've seen the movie so many times. Besides The Karate Kid and Den of Thieves, Star Wars: The Clone Wars is the movie that I watched the most. But and then you got the show Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Of course, like I said, both the show and the movie are my childhood. I grew up whenever Star Wars: The Clone Wars was like, I was the target audience for Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Like I said, I was like 8 years old whenever the movie came out. So, and then yeah, the show, man. I was watching it on Cartoon Network. Whenever I was watching season 1 on Cartoon Network, I used to watch Ben 10, and Ben 10 Alien Force and Ultimate Alien, all that shit back like 12 years ago. Whenever I was like 10 and like ages like 8 to like 13 or whatever, I was watching Star Wars: The Clone Wars on Cartoon Network, and then like I just started like watching it online, and then now I have Disney Plus. But still, like, I've seen every episode of Star Wars: The Clone Wars at least like 2 or 3 times. Literally every episode, even the political episodes and all the episodes that people don't like. The episodes about the Jedi younglings and the droid episodes. Yeah, I've seen them like 2 or 3 times. I've seen every episode, every season, all that shit. I'm just, like I said, I grew up watching Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I've been watching it for over 10 years now. It's literally, like, Star Wars: The Clone Wars is what shaped my life. All my favorite Star Wars characters are because of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Like, that's the reason why they're my favorite characters, are because of that show. So, yeah, I love Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And, there's probably not going to be anything ever that will ever come out that will ever be able to top that for me. Movie, show, anything. For me, Star Wars: The Clone Wars is just top of the top. But yeah, you already know the deal. Thanks for coming around, listening to my ranking. Let me know your comments below. I know not that many of y'all even watch my videos, but if you do want to leave a comment below. You good. But yeah, thanks for coming around, bro. You safe.